We have a really special fireside chat next with Qevan Guo, co-founder and CTO of IoTeX, Mark Little, CMO and BD lead of Streamer, and Yev, CTO and co-founder of DIMO. And they're going to be talking about zero-knowledge proofs, which have applications in both privacy and scalability for DePIN. So let's give them a hand, guys.
Check.
Testing.
Hello.
Cool, we're on. Hey guys. Welcome everyone to this session. This fireside chat is ZK proof and data marketing DePIN, following a recent proof of concept that was built with Streamer, DIMO, IoTeX, WebStream. So very excited to be having this conversation today. Some quick introductions. My name is Mark Little, CMO at Streamer. If you're not familiar with Streamer, we do P2P, decentralized real-time data streaming. We're DePIN infrastructure. We've got a booth at the back. If you're building in DePIN, come and talk to us, and we can tell you more. Great pleasure to be sitting here with Yev and Qevan. Mostly because Stream's been working with DIMO since day one, almost, I'd say. And recently we're working more and more with IoTeX and the WebStream guys, and building loads of cool things, one of which we're going to talk about today. We're going to run the session for about 20 minutes. We've got some questions, obviously, but then we're going to open it up to the floor. So we'd appreciate some questions. So if you can have a think about questions, that would be great. And I'll preface this session just by saying I think everyone's really excited about the DePIN narrative in this bull run. And long may it continue. You know, DePIN's here to stay for the next 10 years, we all hope, all of us building in the space. And you know, if we think about the amount of data and how sensitive and personal that is, there is a need for a privacy solution, privacy layer on top of DePIN. And today we're going to talk about a proof of concept that's been kind of built in that space for the first time. So it's really, really interesting one. Cool. Enough from me. Let's get into introductions. Qevan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello. Yeah, sure. I'm Qevan, co-founder, CTO of IoTeX. I think just now, I think Roland has done a lot of introduction already, and primarily I work on technology products at IoTeX, and our goal is try to build the best modular infra for all DePIN projects. I think that's a brief introduction.
Awesome.
Check. Hi, everybody. My name is Yevgeny. I'm the CTO and co-founder of DIMO. We've been building it for about 2 years, and it's a decentralized transportation network.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, we're going to talk about this proof of concept with ZK proof on top of DePIN. And going to kick off with a sort of just a background question. So, yeah, guys, could you tell us a bit about where this idea came from, how it came into the making, how long you've been working on it, and how you guys kind of work together with Streamer on this?
So, you know, we've hit 50,000 cars on DIMO just very recently, but as the number grows, we have more and more mobility companies reaching out to us to see how we can work together. One of those companies is in the category of insurance, and that's a big one. Over the last 2 years, insurance in the US has roughly doubled, right? So there's a lot of incentive for the average person really to try and save money. But the problem with insurance and the way it's usually built today, you usually get it, you know, with no data attached from your actual driving, or if you do get one of those plug-in devices from your insurance company, you don't know what they're doing with it. So we want to, you know, obviously fit this use case, and one thing that came up is how do we let somebody share their driving data without really divulging where they're going, really how fast they're driving. And talking with Streamer and IoTeX teams, we thought, hey, why don't we put something together and see if we can build a more privacy-preserving insurance policy for people.
Awesome. Thanks, Yev. And okay, let's build on that kind of area of data and car data in particular. Vitalik actually gave us an absolute gift towards the end of January. He tweeted, I'm going to read it out actually. He said, as a reminder, modern cars are highly networked computers and are a privacy nightmare. Very underexplored sector for privacy improvements. Some fancy ZK, please. I like that. So, yeah, guys, could you tell us a bit about how much data is being generated via DePIN devices, via DIMO, maybe specifically within the kind of car industry? And what are the kind of privacy concerns around that today and over the long term?
So the average car nowadays that's coming off the line has over 100 computers in it. If you record the entire message bus of the car, you will end up with 5 gigabytes after just 1 hour. And one thing that makes it interesting is it's not just the performance of the engine or what gear it's in. It's the weather outside. It's the cell towers that it sees. If your car is equipped with cameras, it's recording all of that video around the car, right? So there is almost an infinite amount of everything you see when you're in a car, the car sees as well. And that data has a lot of different use cases, but it's gigabytes upon terabytes from just a little bit of driving.
Right. It's not just the car data per se, is it? Because you're now mining other data types as well. Is that right?
So the DIMO device will collect as much as it can, right? Depending on the vehicle support, we can get more, we can get less. But the idea is to put the user in charge of as much data as possible and let them make the final choice of what they want to do with it. Some of it they want to share, some of it they might not.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially right now, the cars are electric, and they can be there always on, and they can collect all day data instead like just when it was powered on in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. So really, the whole thing is about putting power back into the user, right, and giving them full control. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I guess there's going to be a few devs in the audience. We should talk about the technical side of things, which is what everyone's here for. Yeah, guys, can one of you just give an overview of the kind of architecture and how this was built and what's involved?
I can start with the DIMO side, right? So a DIMO user purchases a device, they plug it into their car. That device has a secure element, and every piece of data coming off that device is signed. And we're then allowing the user to permission that data to someone else. In this case, we permissioned it to the IoTeX Web3B stream node.
Yeah. Yeah. So we built the infra for web stream. Yeah, I think there are actually two parts of the making the DePIN project decentralized. One part is we call it the DePIN verification. Basically, whenever the devices connect to sort of like a data availability layer, and the DePIN verification can actually pull the data and do the verification and put on chain, so that whenever the DePIN project wants to either issue token or like NFTs, they can directly talk to the smart contract to verify whatever data off chain. And in this demo specifically, there's another, I think, also very important use case, which is the privacy. Like a lot of data, when the user want to preserve at their own space, they only want to unveil certain type of data to whatever providers, either centralized or decentralized. And ZK is a perfect technology here, and it can actually prove whatever the user has done, but not actually sending any raw data to the system. In this case, in the smart contract. I think in this demo project, we particularly do have the raw data of the cars driving. I think certain data and come together to prove they have driven how many miles, and as a result, they can issue an NFT online, and without actually unveiling where they have gone, and so that potentially insurance companies can utilize the NFT to issue whatever kind of benefits to those guys, to the users. Yeah.
Awesome. We can get into more detail on the sort of technical side because we'll open up to questions in a moment.
Yeah, sorry for the tech part.
No, I think the guys want to know more about the tech, I'm sure. So have we seen any insurance companies come to us with kind of an interest in this kind of data, or are they kind of more on the back foot with this and it's kind of, okay, ZK is a new technology, I don't really understand it. Like, what's the kind of appetite from the people that you've spoken to with this?
So we showed the demo that we built to a few insurance companies, and it's definitely early, right? The first initial take was, what is this machine gargle here that you're showing me, right? It's all hex. So there's definitely a human element to it, right? We went through this, I think, with TLS encryption back in the day. No one really understands why HTTPS works, but everyone just trusts that it does, and the math behind it is real. there's the same kind of element when it comes to ZK, where I think we'll probably get it working before the average public and the enterprise companies of the world actually believe in it, and that's something to for us to solve. I think as a space, it's not the only problem, right? ZK is just a small piece of it. Web3 in general has a big bar to entry for them at the moment.
Yeah, that's a whole separate discussion. So yeah, okay. All right, great. And then on the kind of education side of things as well, obviously there's a job to be done there, not only with kind of enterprise customers, but maybe with end users as well. So I know you guys built a demo. Can you talk a bit about the demo? Yeah, be good to hear about that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, so the data is sent from the device. It's republished on the streamer network. The IoTeX team is subscribed to that topic that the user has permissioned. And then you guys are, from what I understand, running a proof on it per request of the user, right? Is that, you will have to tell me more because I don't know how exactly your system works internally.
Sure. Yeah, I think the demo part is always online, so people can actually try it. We do not have here, but yeah, maybe later in the booth, people can go there and give a try.
I've got it.
But in general, I think the way that we try to demo there was how we can make all the business logic a decentralized way. Yeah, like streamer. People can directly stream their data from the car devices to the to WebStream. WebStream can do the decentralized proof and put it on chain, and then there is some business party who can actually leverage on the on-chain proof to mint an NFT, whatever.
Yeah. So the demo, if you want to check it out, is at ecodriving.vercel.app, and essentially, if someone submits their mileage, they can get a discount based on how many miles they have or haven't driven. So that's kind of the concept there. And I think there's an insurance contract as well that's been built. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I forgot the discount part. Yeah, that's very important about people's.
Yeah. Okay. All right, great. So, guys, just one final question for myself, and then we'll open it up. So, what are your kind of views in terms of like the longer term of the privacy layer on DePIN? Like, do you see ZK proof as the solution for that kind of long term? What are the future use cases for this? Maybe within automotive or maybe further afield within the DePIN sector.
So I think there are many interesting topics on this one, but I think today's hot topic is AI. Definitely. When we have the DePIN, we have a lot of data, and also just now we talk about how to leverage the data using ZK technology. I think they come together is a natural kind of like a field for AI. I think in this particular, I still want to mostly focus on the technology part. I think in this case, ZK actually can do many different ways. One is kind of federal learning, like people do not have to unveil their data when they are doing this kind of like learning systems. And the second one is kind of privacy preserving kind of like learning, so that people do not have to actually expose their personal data, but they can still prove whatever they have there. And the third one is verifiable kind of like a proof, which is what ZK usually do. But in this case, it's kind of like a verifiable AI piece. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a very natural expansion in the future for DePIN plus ZK.
Yeah. So just to build on that line of thinking, because the conversation that I've been involved in recently is about autonomous driving and AI inference at the edge. So when you start thinking about that, then that data and those streams that's coming from the edge, it needs to be verified, it needs to be private, and all of those things. So that's probably where the immediate future looks like. Okay, thanks guys. I'm going to hand over to the audience and see if we've got any questions. Anyone want to ask the guys a question about ZK on DePIN and privacy layers? I've got a question on the left. Do you want to say your name and affiliation or where you from?
Hi, Khessin here. So, question for Yev. How difficult would it be to build that insurance use case without WebStream? And then second, what are some of the other use cases you would want to power with it?
Today it would be pretty difficult to build because I'm not sure who else is in the DePIN space off the top of my head that could provide that functionality. And well, you know, a big part of it is interest in the other side to actually accomplish it. But I would say your other question was the use cases around besides that, right? I mean, insurance is one that impacts most people, so it's an easy one to focus on. But you know, with where DIMO wants to go, I believe on the last panel we were talking a bit about Web3 Uber. I don't think anyone loves what Uber and Lyft have become, taking basically 50% profit margin on everything and putting all the other taxi cabs out of business. But I'd love to see somebody come along and build a ride-hail network or a moving goods network using ZK proofs, right? Where anywhere in the world you could submit to a contract that I want to go from here to here and be able to not necessarily say exactly where I'm trying to go and then be able to verify that this trip occurred without divulging where I went from to. So that's one that's a shiny object, but it really is, the way I think about it, every single data point could be shared either way. It just depends, one, how much are you willing to spend on the infrastructure, because ZK proofs are expensive and not all data needs to be that way. And the second part is, as ZK gets better, maybe we can move into having that be the default all the time.
Awesome, thanks for the question. Any other questions from the audience? Yeah, one at the back.
Hi, so
Hey.
Marla from Taiwan. I'm curious if you guys, either of you, are seeing any use cases that are like composing data from various DePINs together as of yet, because I know there's like obviously some talk around permissions and probably like querying and all that, but just curious if you've seen anybody doing anything interesting in that space at the moment.
This is a little bit self-serving, but I think we're doing something interesting with that, right? So one of the things that we do is verify that the vehicle is actually moving. And one of the ways we do that is by using the Helium network if it's the macaron, right? So it may not be the on-chain interaction that everybody wants to see, but at the same time, we are using the trust layer of Helium as the base to make DIMO better, right? And I think as we dive deeper into DePIN, we get into smart charging and energy grid, all of these pieces will start coming together more and more into what it really is an experience for the user that's better than what we have today.
Yeah, to add on that, streamer for the data streaming as well. Yeah, and potentially, I think the WebStream network will, whenever it's become like a all public run network, and it will be another DePIN network as well. I think the infrastructure-wise, it's very easy to reuse for different DePIN projects, but on-chain interaction still very early at this moment. But I do believe, like for example, like if we in our demo projects, when we issue the NFT to prove people who are driving every day or whatever, insurance company maybe they can just building some like a DeFi project to give the discount directly there. Maybe other project can actually directly use evidence online on chain to prove something else. Yeah.
Great, thanks guys. Time for one more question. Any takers? Okay, I think we're going to wrap up there. Big thanks to Kevin and Yev for coming on the panel, having a discussion about this proof of concept. I think it's an interesting one. So yeah, we'll see how that develops and watch this space. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for a great fireside chat on all things ZK. Looking forward to what's next in that regard.